that you just described, though, isn't that the work of Iqbal and Twombly in terms of the government's response? I mean, if a plaintiff is just saying the claim is my mail didn't arrive, that was harmful to me, I'm suing the post office, that seems to be heartland postal exception. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. But if there's some allegation about intent with respect to the mails not arriving, I would think there would have to be plausible allegations that there was some intent on the part of the post office and it would, delivering person, and surely the government would not concede to go to trial over that issue just because the person says in their complaint, my postal worker intended not to deliver it to me.
That's true. We certainly would file a motion to dismiss. So
the real worry is in these, I would assume, rare cases. I mean, I can't imagine that the postal workers are, actually, actively, intentionally withholding people's mail on a regular basis. So I just don't know how many cases we're talking about here.
That's part of the point I was making before. As a matter of routine, the Postal Service intentionally withholds people's mail for all sorts of legitimate reasons.
Well, that's an easy defense then. I mean, there it is. And it's not intentional in the sense of a harm.
It's an easy defense once we've had discovery. It's not an easy defense when we're trying to fight off a complaint, because from the outside, that intentional withholding can easily be mistaken.
All right, let me ask you about a hypothetical, because I'm looking at mere miscarriage definition, and you define miscarriage as the failure of the mail to arrive, and you say even intentionally caused failures to arrive would be covered. So let's say we have a mother who regularly writes her son, who's in the military, and a postal employee maliciously, intentionally, and repeatedly returns her mail as undeliverable and stamps deceased on it. Could she sue for intentional infliction of emotional distress under those circumstances? You're saying your case doesn't cover intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Right. I think the postal exception would deem that as a miscarriage of mail. And in fact, there are cases, believe it or not, from 1946 and before, where an erroneous message is delivered, like deceased.
Yeah.
And the plaintiff wants to recover consequential damages for that. And I think that is the heartland of what...
Even though she also meets the elements of IIED under those circumstances, that this is an extreme and outrageous intentional act that causes her emotional distress, you're saying this, even though that's a separate claim, it's not really about what happened to the mail, you're saying that would be covered? That's what I'm worried about with Ms. Konan.
This implicates a different part of the postal exception, and the language of the postal exception begins any claim arising out of the loss, miscarriage, or negligent transmission. And if the damages, the injuries being asserted, the emotional distress arises out of...
Yeah, but I think you would have a Dolan problem if you did this. I'll figure it out. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,